System 333 on air. Today I have a guest that I've been on. Andrew's podcast actually earlier on in the year, I think, and we haven't spoken to each other in some time because Andrew has spent the last almost 1 year, the last 9-10 months in Bali working on a great project. I'd love to introduce him. He is the director, the man behind Sexual Quantum Leap. I hope I've said that correct. And he is going to be speaking about what he's done in the last couple of months over in Bali. How you going today, Andrew?
Good, bro. Thanks for having me on.
No worries. It's good to have you here. You've been somebody that's been innovating yourself constantly throughout my time knowing you. I've known you for the last 4 or 5 years. You've really gone through a great evolution, great transition, and I'm sure the viewers would love to hear about it today. What you do may come across as a bit out there for people, but the good thing is that you do provide a lot of value, and I believe a lot of people do come to you because it's something they can benefit from to improve their wholeness and well-being. What is it that you do, and how do you help out those that in the community better than themselves?
Yeah, sure, man. So, what I do is this: I teach relatable, concise sexuality advice.
Hmm.
Now, why do you need to know that? There's so many men actually that struggle with premature ejaculation, erectile dysfunction, delayed ejaculation, they can't come, and performance anxiety. And you'll realize, man, at least 60% of men have one of those or the other, and they don't know who to turn to. And then they go to doctors, sexologists, or sex therapists. And usually, most of those sexologists and sex therapists are fucking terrible. And usually don't they have like book knowledge, but they don't have like the street knowledge. I always say what I teach, it's like it's the heart and the science behind this. So it's all about opening your heart, opening your body and understanding that. But then it's also the technical side about how to, where it's like, bro, I've been in your position. I know what it's like to have erectile dysfunction. I know what it's like to be with a woman and you come too quickly. Like being in that position and then spending my whole life, man, like over the past 10 years being obsessed with like personal development, but mainly sexuality and dating and all this stuff like that. And I'll give you the mission of what we do, man, before I go on a massive tangent. But the mission is like basically to elevate the sexual well-being of humanity. And the vision is this. So men can have mind-blowing sexual experiences with women they care about by opening their hearts and connecting deeply with themselves. As a result, being the best you ever had inside and outside the bedroom. So I'm teaching guys how to be the best a woman's had inside the bedroom. That's the bottom line.
You know what's important about this is that I guess you know people see sex as a very important union that takes place in their life. I guess a lot of people have different subjective value on what sex is to them, but I believe the most important thing is that in every circumstance, this does need to be addressed by every single man so they can be at peace with themselves, right? And at the same time, I feel like it is a topic that men may find taboo to talk about openly to their friends and even to, like you said, sex therapists and whatnot, because there isn't that relatability in this human experience. So it's great that you've been able to do this. I guess it is therapeutic to a degree where people can open up and be able to explain what's actually going on. How did you get into this
Yeah.
field of work? What was the starting point for you to go down this path?
Well, the thing is, man, like I never thought I'd be 29 years old, traveling the world and fingering a doll and teaching men all about sexuality. It was never like for me written in the stars to do this stuff. But the thing is, man, it's like when people say follow your passion, I want to break that down later on because I know we're going to be talking a bit about that stuff. But it
That's
was
yeah,
more
that
like,
part's important.
yeah, it was more like this. I think people try and be coaches or they try so hard to turn something into a business when they're just on the pursuit of money. And it's
Mhm.
great. Like I love Martini. He says this quote. It's like I do what I love and get paid handsomely to do that. I've been saying that quote for the last maybe 4 years in my mind. I do what I love and get paid handsomely to do
And I
that.
saw him
And
live, and you can see it. I've seen him live about a year ago, and definitely when he's up on stage and you hear him talk, it was one of those seminars I didn't really prepare myself to go to in terms of what his level of content and presence would be like. But I walked out with more clarity, and I guess that motto he has really shines through that clarity that he gives you.
Yeah, man. I've dropped about 30 grand on Martini already. So I've gone to a lot of his higher end courses, and
And you've interviewed
that
him
gave me a lot.
too about his sexuality or whatnot. I'm pretty sure. Did you have had that interview out?
Yeah, dude, that was insane, man. So we did do a podcast with him, and that's on YouTube as well, like a interview with Martini. That was a highlight definitely on my life, man. Like breaking it down because he's
Loved it.
just so concise and relatable, and he's so switched on, and he just says it as it is, and you can tell like what I think it is. Like he just speaks from the heart, man. He speaks so much truth. And getting back to that question you said about how I got into this, it's like it was an obsession, man. Like there was times when I had nothing, didn't know what I was doing. I was broke, working in a warehouse. I'm getting like fucking like never felt like I fit in. And I'm like, you know what? There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I remember like a dark time in my life, man. Of like I had to borrow $250 Australian off my brother when I was already in $40,000 debt from three different family members because I was so ashamed about money and stuff like that. Then I go, bro, can I borrow $250 just so I can get go to a warehouse job for 3 days to have a car? Like, so I know what it's like to being brought up in the west side of Melbourne. So I know what it's like to be humbled and be like being an ex-drug dealer back in the day. So having that street knowledge and that humility and going, I've come from absolute nothing to where I am now. We'll explain about that later, but it's been a journey, man. It's just obsession about I know there's more, and me living in fear and constant like thinking that there's not enough or I'm not good enough. That's all bullshit. And the more that I just keep moving around that down that track, my modality was sexuality, and I just started teaching people all about sexuality, and people started going, men started saying to me, "Yo, that was the best experience of my life." And women started saying that was the best she ever had. So that's kind of how the company is called Sexual Quantum Leap, but the tagline is like be the best she ever had. And that's why that started coming along. So I was never meant to be in this position, man. I've had like four amazing mentors. One, I don't want to mention him publicly here,
Mhm.
but he was, there's four main mentors who definitely had significant impacts on like
I
so many
think
more.
that mentor we're talking about was also one of my mentors too. Am I right?
Yeah, correct, man. Yeah, you had a session with him up where you live, man, and he's phenomenal. And the thing is, we just had a bit of a falling out. But the thing is, I had my first mentor, I had him, I had another mentor, then I had the one that I've currently got now. But it's just like the obsession of the obsession about sexuality, and then also seeing people get results. Because I see this, man. I'll wrap this thread up, but it's more like there's so many other sexuality companies out there like teaching tantra, teaching kink, all this stuff. I just think it's so fucking unrelatable. What I did is just like make it relatable, concise sexuality advice, as I said, where people are like, I get it. Where it's like the normal dude can go, bro, I can talk to you about this and I don't feel like a weirdo. And I feel like I can actually open up about something that's so intimate to me that is so fucking painful. Sometimes guys like have that pain around sex, or they go, you know what, bro, I just want to be the best I can be in the bedroom. So I just saw this. I was never meant to be in this position. And then all of a sudden, man, as I said, people just like start getting these results. People go, oh man, it's the best experience of my life. She had the most amazing experience. And they go, dude, I've got something here. Let's run with it. And that's what I did. And that's why I see a lot of facilitators, sometimes they try and get into it to make money. It's like, yeah, I'm here to build a business and generate wealth. But the thing is, it's like,
You're
this is
doing what
like,
you love.
I wake up in the morning and I can't help myself. Like after I get off this call, I'm actually going to be doing research into more of the stuff about premature ejaculation and erectile dysfunction, just because I love knowing more nuances for about 4 hours after this call, man. Just because I want to keep like upping my own knowledge and skills in this area.
Yeah, and look, you know what? That's it. It's constant growth in your passion as well. You can never be a master of it. I always believe that you're a master and a student at the same time, right? And as that growth continues to happen, so does the building blocks of your foundation of what you teach. And a lot of your students, will be happy to know that they're learning from someone who's, in that frame of mind. Not the know-it-all, textbook encyclopedia. We know the human experience is ever so changing. Now, I'd like to talk a bit about you know, sexuality in itself, right? Just with what men are, why do men face these issues to begin with? That would probably be one of the most important questions to ask.
Yeah, it's a great question, man. It's such a big topic. the big thing, the big overarching for this, man, is this: the pressure to perform and the pressure to be someone in the bedroom and do something in the bedroom. That's probably one major roadblock that men have, of thinking that they have to be this 6 foot fucking 10 porn star with this massive cock. And the thing is, if they don't look like that, if they're not jacked like you are, man, or if they don't have like this
The
massive,
pocket rocket jack machine.
yeah, if they're not jacked like you, bro, then all of a sudden it's like that inadequacy as a man. They go, I don't feel like a man. I don't feel good enough. I can't give that. Or I have to have sex with her this certain way because I saw this on porn. And this confusion about what sexuality should look like, or the perception of how we've been grown up, because most men start masturbating about 12 years old and start watching porn roughly about the same age.
And that has an effect on a neuropsychological process of how they view sex entirely, holistically, internally and externally. So yeah, I can understand that. Building blocks in the habit of cognitive development, definitely. There's an impact there.
Think about this, bro. If you had like, let's say on average, like guys, like when they see sex, most guys are watching porn and they're not like gently like bent over the computer screen, like, and really playing with themselves. Also, sorry, they're not opening their chest and touching themselves gently. They're bent over, tensing their whole body and whacking off as quick as they can.
Damn, you're getting a hernia doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully someone doesn't walk in the room. So you're on high alert. You want to get it done as quick as you can. You're tensing your cock, you're squeezing your cock as hard as you can. So you've been training, the way you masturbate is where you fucking, you've been training yourself your whole life on how to fucking have sex, because you've been just like jerking it quickly. And then when guys get to having sex, they're not making any noise because they're so ashamed. And then they go, hope to God, mum doesn't walk in the room or my housemate doesn't bust in my room when I'm jerking off, because there's all that shame and guilt that's associated with sex. You get it done quickly, and then your whole sexual experience is based around this, man. It's like there's so much.
Do you reckon? I mean, this like it's a bit of a foreign concept for me. Do you reckon there are men that are actually still ashamed of their sexuality in the Western world, modern day?
Dude, it's even Eastern world, man. Everywhere.
I mean, you're in the Eastern world now, but I mean, like, the reason I find that surprising, and this is just from my experience, is that
dude, it's
because
so
sex is so glamorized, and it's almost like it's more appropriate now to kind of be like that than it would be back in maybe our parents' day, right? Why do you think there's still that difficulty for men to be able to integrate that part of their psyche into their everyday life personality?
Okay, great question. But you're serious about that question about like the West, man. The West is really, the West and the East. You think like in India or like Bali, like the more suppressed the society is about sexuality, like it has to be expressed somewhere else. And usually when a society is so repressed and about
go to extreme measures,
it's expressed in such an unhealthy fucking way.
Yeah, and you know what? That's you see that a lot in countries where there's maybe lawlessness, two, really type of traditional cultures whereby there's not a lot of freedom for both the men and the women. I've seen that in certain countries I've been to for sure.
Yeah. So to answer your question, man, it's like this: your upbringing around sexuality. Don't touch it. Don't talk about it. Don't look at it. Religious, cultural upbringing. Religion, the way we don't even have a sexual education, watching porn, Instagram of like all this like the fucking flashy lights, man, of Instagram are constantly seeing things that are sexualized. Then I was saying about the porn as well, man. Most guys don't watch a scene on porn from start to finish. It's boring. They have 10 fucking tabs open or 20 tabs open on hardcore fucking scene. Like maybe it's like a hardcore deep throat scene, and they watch that over and over and over and over and over again. And then their association with sex is that one aspect, and they think, okay, no wonder guys aren't turned on when a real woman's in front of them, because they're so associated to that one scene and they watch it over and over. So their mind is starting to be wired. Sexuality is a hardcore one scene, and that's all it is.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So basically their field of vision, their field of thought only views sexuality in that one particular aspect. It's not holistic, and it's almost a disconnect between them and the actual action.
Yeah, big time. And the thing is, it's like there's no education on sexuality, man. The education, even like I've had clients go to doctors, sex therapists, shit like this, man. And they think it's like, take this pill, which is like, sometimes if you want to get it up quickly, cool, take a pill. But then the long-term effects of consistently taking Viagra, Cialis, penis pills, all this stuff, man. There's so much effects of doing this on your body. It's ridiculous. And sometimes the doctors are just so ashamed and they don't know any better. It's like, take this pill, you're fucked like this for life. It really pains me to hear when men are told you're stuck like this for life, or you need to take this pill, or that's just how you are. Where it's completely like disgusting, man. That people just say you're like this for a purely a financial gain of the government, or for financial whatever it may be for an industry to go, here we are, you're like this, take some pills, you're stuck. Where it's like, no, I say this to every man, and I'm just going to reiterate here. If you're watching this and you're a man and you're like really ashamed about this, you're not fucked up and you're not broken. It doesn't matter what someone says. That's why, man, I've been so successful as of recent, the last 2.5 years, because I've hit a vein in the market where people are like, you understand me, man. And thank you for doing what you're doing.
And you know what? I believe, you identified that there was a problem, and, a problem right across the board. We're not just talking one demographic. I mean, I'm guessing you deal with men of all ages. Is that right?
Yeah, the
Or
youngest guy I worked with was 16 years old. His mother gave me consent to work with him. And the
Mhm.
oldest guy we're working with at the moment is 66 years old.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine there would be definitely a range, and when you have that range, you can really see, I guess, where that actual person is in their life, what they've done, maybe part of their external life, how that might have correlated with, their behavior and whatnot, and, their relationships with women. They would all have different experiences with women. In terms of what you've been doing, 'cause so were you in Sydney at the beginning of this year? Am I correct when I say that?
Was I? No, I don't know if I was, man. Did I see you this year? I don't know when we did the
I'm
podcast.
pretty sure I saw you before the pandemic, and we did a podcast. Was that at the beginning of this year, but January? It was in the
Maybe
summer.
it might have been. It might have been January or February, man. Yeah, because you maybe met me in the hotel. Yeah, it might have been. We met that in the hotel in, I don't know where we were.
It was in Surrey Hills.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So, when did you go to Bali? What month was it?
March, man. Just at the start of March. So
Yeah,
I've
I'm
been
pretty
here
sure I
since.
saw you before I left. Um, I'm pretty sure. No, I saw you because I went to Melbourne, but I didn't see you in Melbourne, did I? I saw you before I went to Melbourne. I saw you at the beginning of January. I'm pretty sure it was like the first couple of weeks of January.
Yeah, we'll go with that. That sounds good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've just yeah, timelines. This year's been a really strange year. So you've gone to Bali. You're in it. It's been since March. So now we're 8 months, 9 months, almost 9 months in. What have you been doing in Bali to help men out? I see you've got a seminar there where you're presenting in a bikini, a red bikini. I've seen, I think, a few bit of that on your Instagram. I guess a lot of people would want to know what's going on. What was the psychological motive behind that? What were you presenting to the audience to get the message that you teach across?
Sure. So that's a different topic, but I'll dive into that because you asked. So basically, man, for the last 9 months I've been in Bali, just like teaching sexuality. The thing is, on a side note, a lifestyle note, being here in Bali when I came here like 10 years ago, like going, think about this. King Street is the equivalent of Kuta, which is party. Think about this. People think of Bali, sometimes they just think of like King Street and that's it, man. And they go, oh my God, that's so intense. But Bali is, the simple
Retreat.
thing is the most
It's a
beautiful
retreat.
place in the world. It has everything you need. We have everything I need, private chefs, amazing villas, great weather, amazing people, beautiful staff, lots of Westerners, beautiful women. And there's like so many activities. Like this weekend, I'm going wakeboarding with my boys. There's
Nice.
like all these different diversity of places to go. Cost of living is fantastic. And it's like internet is usually pretty good. Sometimes
Probably
a bit
better than what we get here in Sydney.
yeah. I
Been
was want to give that
awful.
because a lot of people actually ask and go, why? I'm like, I've actually relinquished in my head of like Australia being home. I can't remember the last time I was home. I think it was like January, but I don't see Australia as home anymore. I just like where I wake up in the morning, that's my home. And that's basically it. Instead of going, I have to, because the thing is, because I'm constantly on the road traveling, usually globally running the events, man, I'm like, I feel like I always have to run back home, but I'm like, no, my home is where I wake up in the morning. But to answer your question, it's basically I've been doing events, um, working stuff online and living a beautiful life here, man. And like serving my clients online now, which is really amazing. And I've got a beautiful girlfriend and I got incredible friends that I really cherish here. So, and to answer your question, like I set up a life. I had nothing when I got here, but now I've got like so many friends and experiences and like events and business opportunities, which are just, and I can tap into why. Everyone's like, how did you do this? And I believe there's a real big reason behind why I do this. Doesn't matter where I'm in the world. I always, when I had a fascination when I was younger, how can I get in the best shape of my life? How can I make good money doing my business? And how can I have a really amazing relationship or meet girls at need? And then obviously follow my internal fucking compass, which is Martini again calls the telos, which is following like the end in mind, which is a Greek
What's it
word, I
called?
think, man. Telos, so Tellos. It talks about your end in mind. So it's like your soul's highest your soul's highest calling and your highest value. You keep following that. And the reason I'll go to why you asked about why I was in a red bikini. So man, I've been doing business now like for a long time, but the last 2.5 years, like SQL, like sexual quantum leap, really just blew up, man. And there's a lot of reasons behind that, but it blew up because I found a big need in the marketplace and really realized there was so many men who wanted this, and I had to know how to facilitate that. And what happened, bro, was this. What was I going to say? Yeah, so the reason I was in the red bikini is back in the day, I was like, thought I had to be a businessman and to wear a three-piece suit and speak a certain way and be inauthentic. Hi, I'm Andrew Mioch. Welcome to this. I'm going to teach you
Yeah,
that.
you worked in sales for a bit, right?
Yeah, I worked in sales a lot, man. But the thing is, with that, I just like put on a suit and I was like, why the fuck am I wearing a three-piece suit, man? And the thing is, I felt so authentic and speaking like a fucking like a loser, man. I don't speak like very clean cut. I'm a loose guy who's intense, who says what the fuck he wants. So I was broke as fuck, wearing a three-piece suit and wearing all these nice watches. And I've never been more broke in my life. This was ages ago. And then the reason I did the bikini just recently, like 11 people, because it was like basically there's 11 people, no, 9 people in Bali and 2 people from Australia who wanted to get business coaching from me because they can see how well with what we're doing, man. And I go, you know what, fuck it. I put on a seminar. I go, all you guys come 2 days. I'm going to teach you everything I know about business. Taught them everything I knew, which was super fun. Just like a little, I just saw it as a little bit of extra pocket money, man. Because the thing is, I just wanted to help out my close friends and help them. So because everyone was asking me this, because there was a massive need in the market, I taught them this, and then I basically wore a sarong and a bikini for 2 fucking days, man, because I want to blow the perception in my own mind of thinking I have to be this professional business person. And the thing is, how can I be more authentically me? And me, like, I'm a bit crazy and wacky, which is, I'm not saying you have to go put on a bikini, but I just did it because I thought it was funny and it
Yeah, you
elevated my
well,
strength.
I get it where you say like because it's the extreme opposite of what you should wear. So
Yeah,
you just literally subverted the whole narrative. That's subversion.
yeah. So that's all I did. I just go, you know what, fuck this reality. And the thing is, those few days I made
So
really
what was
good
it
money.
like? Like what was the reception like? Because I mean, I think that would be interesting for people. I mean, they're not gonna expect that. What was it like?
They loved it, man. But at the same time, I was dropping the bombs for the content, and then I just go, I held such a strong frame. I'm like, do you know what it is, man? People around me, it's like, if you don't like what I'm doing, don't be here.
Just get up and walk out. Get up and walk out.
But it's been like that since day one. I'm not being rude. I'm like, you know what? I'm being me. People know when they're coming to an event with me. It's not going to be like, hey, everyone hold hands and talk about your feelings. It's like, it's going to be weird, wacky, but all I give a fuck about is getting people results, man. And that's where people ask me the business advice. People aren't clear on their positioning in the market. They don't get people results, and they're not good at what they do. It's bottom. It's simple as that, man. And it's not being rude.
You know what I think is great is the fact that you differentiated yourself by doing that very thing, but also you've left an impression on the attendees of the seminar, in creating that. Not a seminar people are going to forget. And I think that really is, a great angle to come from. If you want to separate yourself from being a generic, um, authentic fake, if you want to call that, like even though you're being you, you're wearing the suit because the image of the narrative as a holistic collective thought determines that you should wear a suit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people, man. In short, we get told to how to be and what to be. And I'm constantly like, since this journey of like beginning, I go, how can I really be? And it's like so like it's so like, how can I say this? It's just so generic personal development advice of like, be authentically you. And when I did that, I shattered the own reality. And then that day, I'm like, people loved it. People are starting to make money. I made good money and I wore a fucking woman's bikini. So it's not like that I did that. It's more like I shattered my own perceptions of what actually reality is, of
And
what
whilst
people
succeeding.
consistently tell me. And I'm like, you know what? I do what I want. I get paid handsomely to do it. I change people's lives and business and money flow to me easily. That is my internal story. And my internal dialogue keeps getting stronger like that. And that's why everyone's like, how do you hit these big months in business and make this happen? I go, because I'm aligned with what I should be doing and I do what the fuck I want. And I know business because I've been studying this. I've worked very hard. So it's not just like, just think, man, and feel like I've worked exceptionally hard, studied a lot of people, spend a lot of money on mentors with business and sexuality, of course. That's my main focus. But I was not willing to compromise my own values and my integrity as a fucking human being so then I could please other people. I'm like, fuck that. And then you know what I realized, man? The amount of real friends and people in my life and experiences. I'm invited to like villa parties
Yeah,
pretty
because
much
everything synchronizes. Everything synchronizes once you align.
everything lines up, man.
Synchronizes. That's
Everyone's like,
synchronicity.
everyone's like, where does this all come from? I'm like, dude, when you're aligned with something that's bigger than yourself and you're serving other people genuinely, it's game over, man. And it's a snowball effect. It just keeps getting more and more and more. And then all of a sudden, everyone's like, where do you get these opportunities? Where do you meet your beautiful girlfriend? Where do you have it? I'm like, seriously,
You're living in
that is,
synchronicity, bro.
yeah, alignment. I just call it alignment with what's
Alignment.
like without like going too like deep on this. It's like, when you do something, do you feel closed down or do you feel opened up when you do it? I check in with myself, like, do I feel open or do I feel closed down?
You know what's interesting? One of my last podcasts with Ignis, which was a two-part series, was on about synchronicity and self-alignment, which is basically what we've been, speaking about for the last 5-10 minutes. So I find this a very interesting, type of discussion, considering I just recently had a podcast on it.
Who was that with?
Ignis from New Jersey in America. He's very aware dude, very conscious about self-development, and really we got into this discussion where it says things just start lining up, and you begin to really I guess engage with what the universe has planned for you, so that you are doing the right things, in alignment with your archetype. My third book will be about archetypes and intuitions, which is part of it being aligning yourself with the archetype that you were meant to be from the beginning, and then also developing that inner piece to develop your intuition, so that you as you become more aligned with your archetype, what happens is your intuition and your decision making also improved, which is where things line up for you a lot more easily, as you probably would have experienced yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's like what people don't understand as well, man, is you've got that spirit and matter. Like we're talking a lot
Duality.
about spirit right now, but then the matter. I get shit done. I make shit happen. I'm not afraid to have a hard conversation. I'm not afraid to put myself out there. Like for fuck's sake, man, I was in front of 90 people. I did a talk recently in Bali. 90 people, 45 women, 45 men. I was a little bit nervous because there was women in the room, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going all in. And the reception was insane, man. I go, I'm constantly stepping up into that uncertainty, but then I know for me, it's like, this is what I have. I've got to do this. So I'm like making shit happen in the material world, not just thinking that. But when I'm aligned, it's like things just start popping into my fucking preference. And the thing is, man, I can't like stress enough. How can I wake up, tell the truth, and speak my truth the most? When I do that, there's so much fucking difference, man, that's happened in my life. Tell the truth and speaking the truth. And then when I'm on whatever people call it, sales calls, or shit like this. It's like all I'm doing is like having a truthful conversation and calling guys on their bullshit when they go, oh, I don't know if it's the right time. Like, listen here, man, you've fucking been in this position for 5 years and you call me up and you say you really want to do this. So it's not like I'm just trying to like fucking push them over the line or be a impression. It's like kind of
They're
like a
coming to you and
genuine
they have
further.
the issue and they've addressed it. Now, what are they going to do about it? It's on them.
And they go, I don't know if it's the right time. I go, what? So wait another 5, 10 years when you're in the same position and you're consistently unsatisfying your
There
wife
is
while
no
they're doing it.
tomorrow. That's one thing that's so important for people to understand. There is no tomorrow. If you know that there's an issue that you need to address, well, you need to get onto it as soon as possible and nip it in the bud, because you don't want shit to drag out.
Yeah, do you know what I was going to say as well, Zach? Do you know at the start of this chat today, you said it's quite extreme what I'm doing. But the thing is, do you know what's quite extreme? The suppression and the repression of this. No one talking about it, and then there's so much sexual dysfunction of people not feeling like heard, understood, and there's like people cheating, side hookers, drugs, alcohol to suppress the fucking thing because they're not feeling heard and they're not being sexually satisfied, and then all of a sudden they feel shut down in relationships, man. That's fucking what's
Yeah,
really
look,
fucked up.
that type of life would be, quite difficult to live.
But most people live this, man.
I mean,
This is
yeah,
not like uncommon. You're talking to a lot of like highly aware people a lot of the time, man. You got to see that. Most
well,
of the people live in the. You wouldn't realize, man. There's like CEOs, dentists,
see,
doctors.
and this is why when you say this, it shocks someone like me, or maybe other people I know, right? But the fact is that it needs to be said because who's gonna know if no one's out there saying this shit? And
Dude,
that
the messages, man, I have, bro. The messages I have behind the scenes. You'd see this guy, good-looking guys, really fucking confident. And dude, some women are reaching out to me like now, and they're the most attractive women I've fucking ever seen, man. And they're
mm,
reaching out going, my partner couldn't get it up for like 4 years, man, when we were together,
wow,
maybe once or twice.
wow,
Shit like this, dude. Like, and
wow,
you're looking at these kind of like jacked, fucking, really good-looking dudes, and behind the scenes, they're just like, there's so much like
wow.
like there's so much like I don't like the word ego, but it's like it's everyone understands. Like there's so much fucking ego, but I don't want to reach out or talk to someone about this. But they go, I'd rather live in that pain of like, I can't get it up, or I come too quickly, or just so much
You
shame
need
in
to
the fucking
separate
bedroom.
because I think a lot of people what they do is they really try to identify with the body a lot and says, well, the body is me. But the body is more than just you. The body is just a vessel. You mentioned spirit and matter, right? Part of it, part of your spirit as well, part of who you are, your being. And, that probably where a lot of it also comes from, being um, congruent with their being, in line with their being, and understanding of self. Um,
It's time to cause a revolution, man, for this because you know what? It is absolutely like so
wow.
painful for them. And you'll probably realize, man, maybe some of your best friends like around you have this shit going
And
on,
they
but
just
they
won't say
won't
anything. Yeah.
express it.
Yeah,
They won't.
definitely.
And that's the thing. And people go, I haven't even told my best friend this, and I've had to explain this to my partner, but I haven't told her the full details of what's going on in the bedroom. And they go, dude, like, thank you for doing what you're doing because you get me. That's what guys say the most. You get me because it's like I'm willing to go, bro. I've been there in that position. I know what it's like when a woman laughs at you or she's just like shaming you. You don't feel good about your sexuality, or you can't get it up, and or you just like you come too quick, man. I know because I've been there. I know what it's like to have an STD, man, and then be with a woman and like bring this up. I know what it's like to have fucking get a woman pregnant, and then in the 3 months she has a miscarriage, dealing with the fucking emotions. It's like being in the fucking front line. Like, and guys think the pinnacle is having threesomes and gangbangs. I'm like, listen here, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck about your leg count or how big your muscles are or how big your fucking cock is. Like, if you think you're fucking some alpha fucking male, like, I don't give a shit, dude. You know what a true alpha male is? It's like, what is your character as a fucking man? Where is your
Absolutely. It all comes
integrity?
down to
Where
inner
is your
character.
fucking heart? Where is
And
your heart as a man, bro? That's what
yeah,
it's about.
and this is a very holistic way to look at it because I think what we do culturally, and this comes, from across a range of cultures, is we really try and box men to be a certain way according to society standards. And even by doing that, creates this suppression. And everything is then compensated for images. Maybe some people like to drive big cars to show, oh, really cool cars. Say, hey, this is it. You know what I mean? Like, there's it's the lack of. that is created because of that, because there's no wholeness in their integrated sexuality.
But I don't care, man. The thing is, I don't care how like much money a guy. I've been around guys who are like squillionaires, guys who have banged thousands of chicks. Well, whatever, man. Like for me, it doesn't matter. But the thing is, it's like, what is your character? What is your character as a man? How do you show up in the world? And do you fucking speak the truth and seek the truth? That's just really encapsulating that in short. Like question everything I say. Look into that. It's a critical thinking to do that. And look into your own research. But I think people are just getting told too much. You go, I have to listen to this certain person and do this certain thing. It's like, no, dude. No, it's like, and look a little bit deeper about the people who are actually teaching certain things about dating advice, sexuality advice, business advice. And that's why that's why I got sick of it, man. That's why I just like seriously put on the red bikini and did a business fucking talk, because I'm just like sick of the fucking bullshit. Because there's so much bullshit out there. Like people are, I'm going to teach you how to make money when the way I make money is making money off you. When they've never fucking made a business work. Or I'm going to teach you how to fuck. Or I'm going to teach you about sexuality. I'm a doctor. When they've like had so much lack of sexual experience, and when they go say the word penis, they fucking tense up when they say the word penis. It's like, come on, motherfuckers. Like, let's wake up. That's why I'm doing what I do. It's more of a public service announcement about everything, opposed to just fucking like sexuality. Sexuality, yeah, cool. I'll turn you into a beast in the bedroom. Your woman will say you're the best, but that's the tip of the iceberg, man. Like I give away all my shit for free. You want to make a chick squirt, give her multiple orgasms, know how to go down with it? That's the fucking party tricks, man. What I really teach is the character behind that shit, where she goes, I can't wait to see you again. So I want to be in your life because you're a man full of fucking soul and heart. And I feel your integrity shining through. And you're willing to have hard conversations, man, with me. That's what it's fucking about. None of this fucking like, man, don't let me go on more of a rant, but you get where I'm coming from.
No, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it because that's the passion we need, and the passion for what you do. Because at the end of the day, how can you get up and do that if you don't have that inner passion within you? We are coming to just about the mark of finishing, but look, just to finalize, because I love how you really did finalize your passion then. Moving forward, if people want to get a hold of you because they feel that this is an area of their life they need to address, and they're sure that they can come to you, how can they reach out to you? Maybe you do a Zoom call or something like that, or what do you do? Do you do initial consultations? How can people reach out to you?
Yeah, good question, man. Bottom line is this: you can just like message me through Facebook, message me through Zach, or just go sexualquantumleap.com. If you can't find me through that,
I'll put it up here on the YouTube.
It's easy.
But yeah. Also, what social media?
You guys will find me easy. Like, just put sexual quantum leap on Google. A lot of shit will pop up, and there's a lot of free stuff. As I said, there's hundreds of hours of free stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I'm sure what you have planned for 2021 is also going to be very transforming for you. And yeah, we'd love to have you back on the show next year when we see what's going to be happening. Then will you stay in Bali, or will you be moving around the world? I know you were traveling a bit. What will you be doing moving into 2021?
Yeah, man. I had an international tour planned for this year, where I will do that for 2021, if not 2022. But I will be staying in Bali for probably about another five or so months, and then actually coming back to Sydney, then going to Vegas, and then going back to Warsaw just to do a bit of a tour still, because I've got events to run still. So yeah, man, that's about it.
That's going to be awesome. Well, thanks for coming on the show. I hope you have a great day. And guys who want to reach out, I'll have the details there. Thanks so much, Andrew.
Thanks for having me, Zach.